Made to win dogfights, strike ground targets, and sink the most advanced ships at sea. Today we'll take a look at the top fighter jets that were not only designed for war, but in some cases specifically modified based on real combat experience. We'll talk about the unique features of each model that earned them a place in world history. And we'll also introduce you to a jet that stands outside the main ranking, one that truly deserves special attention. Stick around, as there's a special bonus waiting for our sponsors at the end. And now let's dive into the world of sky dominators, near-perfect aerial killers. Opening our ranking is the aircraft that quite literally turned the Pacific into an aerial graveyard. The Mitsubishi A6M Zero. Developed by Japan on the eve of World War II, this fighter jet became a true nightmare for the Allies for years. In 1941 to 1942, it destroyed everything that crossed its path: American Wildcats, British Buffaloes, even ships, thanks to its mounted bombs. So what was its secret? Extreme minimalism. Japanese engineers deliberately gave up cockpit armor and self-sealing fuel tanks, all in pursuit of maximum lightness. This made the Zero incredibly agile and responsive in air combat, but at the same time, fatally vulnerable. Toward the end of the war, the Zero began to lose its edge. Enemy aircraft were getting faster and better armor, but even then, it never disappeared from the skies. It was the Zero that carried out the first kamikaze attacks, the final desperate chord of imperial aviation. The Zero is more than just an aircraft. It's a symbol of fanatical resolve, technical elegance, and lethal efficiency in its era.
Want to help Ukraine in the struggle and support a cause that matters? You can join our membership on YouTube, so we can carry on stronger, louder, united together.
Next on our list is an aircraft that needs no lengthy introduction. After all, it is the most widely produced jet fighter in history, with over 11,000 units built, the MiG-21. Since its first flight in 1956, it became a symbol of Soviet military export. Dozens of countries bought or received it, from North Korea to Uganda, and it saw combat everywhere in Vietnam, the Middle East, Africa, and the Balkans. It had one simple mission: take off, shoot down, return. It wasn't the best, but it was good enough, cheap, easy to maintain, and incredibly fast. In the air, it could reach speeds of up to 2,200 km per hour. They called it a flying missile, and US pilots who faced it in Vietnam admitted it can vanish from your sights faster than you can blink. In many countries, the MiG-21 is still in service, more than 60 years after it was created. It wasn't elegant, but it was real and deadly. Next on our list is a jet born for carrier takeoffs, but made famous around the world: the F-18 Hornet, and its improved version, the F-18 Super Hornet. It's the US Navy's primary strike fighter since the late 80s. It was designed as a universal platform for everything: air-to-air combat, ground strikes, interceptions, and even reconnaissance. And it proved its effectiveness in real conflicts: Iraq, Yugoslavia, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria. Wherever the US Navy showed up, the Hornet was already in the air. It was the Hornet that carried out the first strikes on Iraq in 1991 during Operation Desert Storm. And it became the first aircraft in history to score air-to-air kills during a strike mission, shooting down 2 MiG-21s and continuing the raid. Its strengths were flexibility and survivability. It could operate under electronic warfare conditions, take off from an aircraft carrier, and return battered, but still flying. This is the very aircraft you may have seen at air shows with the Blue Angels, the US Navy's elite aerobatic team. So we could say it became something of a star. The F-18 wasn't the fastest or the deadliest, but it was highly versatile, resilient, and effective. And its successor, the F-18 Super Hornet, is still in service with the US, Australia, and Canada. Just one step away from first place stands arguably the most effective fighter jet in aviation history, the F-15 Eagle. And now we'll explain why, despite its somewhat outdated design, we hesitated and ultimately placed it second in our ranking, not first. The F-15 still holds an unbeaten record, 104 air-to-air victories and not a single loss. It owes these impressive results to its incredible speed, versatility, and breakthrough technologies for its time, allowing it to dominate in every aspect. See the target first, shoot first, and exit the combat zone at a staggering speed of over 2,600 km per hour. The F-15 was designed to counter Soviet MiGs, and to achieve that, it incorporated numerous cutting-edge solutions that ultimately led to long-lasting US air dominance, leaving its competitors far behind. Twin engines pushing it past Mach 2.5. A powerful AN APG-63 radar that could lock onto targets before they were even visible. F-15 was the first American jet designed from scratch to win dogfights. Its speed, agility, radar, and weapons all tailored for one-on-one air dominance, while still remaining a versatile soldier with a wide range of capabilities. The F-15 was so far ahead of its time that it still remains in service in many countries around the world, including the United States, in its latest incarnation, the F-15EX Eagle II, featuring several upgrades that allow it to keep pace with modern warfare, all while staying true to its undefeated and battle-proven platform. And before we take a look at the winner of our ranking, let's take a moment to highlight a fighter jet that not only earned its place in history through successful missions, but continues to write that history by taking down Russian aircraft, equipment, and missiles in the war currently unfolding on Ukrainian lands. We're talking about the F-16, another American fighter jet that proved itself in military conflicts in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, and beyond.
Yeah!
The F-16 Fighting Falcon is the most widely produced Western fighter jet in the world, with over 4,600 units built and exported to more than 25 countries. Developed in the 1970s as a lighter, cheaper, and more numerous companion to the F-15, it quickly proved its independence and ability to carry out a wide range of combat missions. It was the F-16 that carried out the world's first combat mission using the AIM-120 AMRAAM missile, shooting down an Iraqi MiG-21 in 1992.
The Air Force says this was the first time the $500,000-a-copy AMRAAM missile had been fired in combat. It was also the first air-to-air combat for the U.S. Air Force F-16, which only saw bombing missions in Operation Desert Storm.
A moment that showcased the advancement of U.S. missile and aerial warfare technology to the entire world. In 2024, the F-16 was delivered to Ukraine. Within the first weeks of its deployment, it successfully intercepted missiles and took part in a combat engagement in which a Ukrainian F-16 shot down a Russian Su-35. But receiving the aircraft is only half the battle. Mastering its technology and adapting to its modern electronics and weapon systems in the midst of a full-scale war is an entirely different challenge. A Ukrainian pilot said that transitioning from old Soviet-made planes to Western F-16s is like upgrading from a Nokia to an iPhone. Western pilots typically spent 3 years training, while Ukrainians had only 9 months. According to the US Air Force, 2 Ukrainian pilots even completed the course in just 4 months, 4 times faster than originally expected. Mastering such technologies in such a short time is no easy task. Yet on December the 13th, 2024, a Ukrainian pilot flying an F-16 carried out the first ever interception of 6 Russian cruise missiles in a single mission. 4 were destroyed with missiles, and the remaining 2 with the aircraft's cannon. And finally, the pinnacle of our ranking, the F-22 Raptor, the world's first serially produced 5th-generation fighter jet. Key advantages: stealth, super cruise, and cutting-edge avionics that allow it to strike the enemy without ever entering their line of sight. This fighter jet was banned from export to other countries, as its advanced technologies, combined with unconventional and highly effective engineering solutions, created an almost perfect killer in the sky. It can fly at speeds over 1,800 km per hour without using afterburners. This is called supercruise, and it allows the aircraft to remain stealthy while traveling at supersonic speeds. Its advanced avionics integrate all sensor data into a single picture, so the pilot no longer needs to search for the enemy. He simply sees more and sees it sooner, which means the Raptor can eliminate an enemy aircraft without ever entering its engagement zone. The F-22 is equipped with advanced air-to-air missiles for both short and medium-range engagements, as well as a bomb bay for striking ground targets, and of course, the good old Falcon cannon. All of this weaponry is housed within the internal bays in the fuselage, helping the jet engage targets while remaining virtually invisible to radar. But it's not just the weaponry that makes it the ultimate air dominance fighter. First and foremost, it's the impressive technical capabilities and the fact that it was built with all the weaknesses of its predecessor, the F-15 Eagle, in mind. One video isn't enough to fully reveal the lethal power of the Raptor, so we've prepared a separate episode where we dive into all of its technical specifications and take a closer look at the jet's weapon systems. The video is already available for our channel sponsors, so don't hesitate. Support our work by becoming a member and get full access to all sponsor-only content. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more rankings and breakdowns of military tech and the path that turned them into legends, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and let us know in the comments which equipment or weapon you'd like us to cover next. See you in the next video.